Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Finding Feats. Today we'll be looking at all the feats performed by Samurai Jack in episodes 31 through 40 of Samurai Jack. To quickly address the elephant in the room, this is my first video utilizing a microphone. I think that this will go a long ways towards improving the quality of my content on this channel, but nonetheless, I would still love to hear your feedback on whether you prefer this format of me telling you information vocally or the old format of getting it through text. Do go easy on me. This is my first time doing this recording, so I apologize if it's a bit amateurish, but I'm doing my best. Without further ado, let's get to the feats. Aku! In this episode, Jack goes up against the Minions of Set, 3 supernatural, ultra-strong warrior monsters. These creatures had demonstrated earlier that they could easily obliterate Aku's warrior robots with a single strike. And in their initial conflict with Jack, they managed to land a dozen or so blows directly on him. Other than messing up his clothes and scratching him up a bit, this does no serious damage. This once more demonstrates that Jack is more durable than steel. Jack describes these creatures as the greatest threat he has ever encountered, which, considering his resume, says a lot. Side note, these creatures were described as being so powerful that not even the Pharaoh's greatest armies could stop them. Jack manages to sneak around the Minions of Set for a bit, demonstrating that his stealth skills are on a level that even supernatural creatures have a hard time detecting him. Jack pushes over a fairly massive pillar. Making some approximations based off Jack's height, and assuming the pillars are made of granite, this pillar must have weighed at least 232,980 pounds, or 116.5 tons. That's equivalent to 23 school buses. Jack gets slammed into a stone wall with enough force to spread cracks in it and leave a Jack-shaped indenture in it. Of course, Jack takes no apparent damage. Jack runs up a wall, further demonstrating his agility. Jack cuts through a stone ceiling he's running under, causing it to collapse, and then, in passing, cuts through a half-dozen stone pillars, causing them to collapse as well. Since Jack has demonstrated he can cut through steel with ease, I suppose it's not that surprising that he can do the same to stone. Jack climbs this rather massive statue, and not only does he do so in about 1 second, he does it in only 3 jumps. And the first jump took him from here to here, in a leap that I calculated by comparing Jack's height to that of the statue to be equal to about 120 feet, or 36.58 meters. That's the equivalent of him jumping to the top of a 12-story building. Guess that training with the monkeys paid off. Aku! Jack climbs another mountain. Jack defeats several foes in a blizzard that made the foes very difficult to see, once again demonstrating that Jack does not need his sight to defeat his enemies. Jack falls from a great height without harm. While the exact height is unclear, he starts off above the clouds, so it certainly seems like a large fall, although since Jack has fallen from orbit in the past, this is hardly new. What follows is a match between Jack and a guardian of a time portal, and Jack describes this foe as having more strength and skill than any he has faced. On his way to face this foe, Jack wanders what appears to be a graveyard for absolutely massive mechas and warriors. It quickly becomes apparent that all of these behemoths had been slain by the Guardian when they were attempting to use his time portal. The foe is revealed to be a skilled martial artist, equipped with a slew of modern and traditional weaponry, and is incredibly physically strong, to the point where he rips through metal with ease, and even eats it. In their fight, Jack performs a variety of impressive feats. He demonstrates his skill with a variety of weapons, including his sword, a spear, throwing stars, shields, and fisticuffs, which doubles as evidence of his resourcefulness and tactical capability, since he grabbed the extra weapons from the battlefield around him. Jack's strength and durability are demonstrated by the way that he holds his own against the Guardian in the first place, as this dude shows that he can smash through thick metal pillars with ease. Not only does Jack hold his own in direct physical confrontations, but he tanks several punches and kicks from this guy, which, again, can smash through metal pillars. In case you didn't know, cutting through paper-thin amounts of metal is practically impossible for a human to do. And smashing through metal pillars is just past the north side of insanity. Jack's speed is also demonstrated when he manages to dodge machine gun fire. This future gun is far better than any of our modern weaponry, and this Guardian is certainly a capable marksman, so Jack would have had to be moving, at minimum, 3,500 miles per hour to dodge these bullets. I deduced this by finding that the highest speeds modern ammunition reach are about 3,500 miles per hour, and since Samurai Jack takes place hundreds if not thousands of years in the future, it seems reasonable that the highest speeds we have now are a fair baseline for what Jack must be up against. against. Jack also kicks several rockets back at the Guardian, a further testament to his speed. Unfortunately, in the end, Jack loses to the Guardian. But before he can finish Jack off, the time portal reveals something to the Guardian. You see, according to prophecy, only one man would be capable of defeating the Guardian and using the time portal, and Jack was not that man. Or, as the time portal reveals, Jack was not that man yet. Jack has yet to reach his full potential. Aku! No feats of note occur this episode. Aku! Jack, I kid you not, uses his robes like a glider/parachute thing. Throughout this episode, Jack navigates several booby-trap-laden dungeons, and by outsmarting all the traps, he demonstrates once more just how resourceful and clever he can be. Jack tanks an explosion that obliterates this rather large house tree stump thing. Jack tanks a punch from this guy, and this guy is currently wielding some godly power cosmic gear that was created by Kronos, aka Zeus's dad, to give him complete control over time and space. So that's pretty impressive. This entire episode, Aku was attempting to manipulate Jack into locating the aforementioned Kronos gear, so that he could use it to destroy Jack. While Jack had fallen for Aku's shape-shifting tricks in the past, he sees through it this time and plays Aku like a fiddle. This shows that Jack does not make the same mistake twice, and also that Jack is now much more capable at seeing through trickery. Aku then attempts to use the Kronos gear himself, and what does Jack do? He cuts the entire set into smithereens. That's right, Jack actually manages to destroy cosmically powerful artifacts created by some of the oldest and most powerful entities in the universe, and he does it like it was nothing. Oh, also Jack defeats Aku again. Aku! Jack produces a match from nowhere, thus implying he carries matches with him. Always good to know what his standard gear is. Jack faces off against a soul-stealing demon and, surprise surprise, gets his soul stolen. But then, Jack's soul just overpowers and destroys the demon's soul. Jack has been forced to fight without some of his senses in the past, and he's even had to fight one in a different body. But here we see that Jack doesn't even need a body at all to kick your ass. Aku! Jack gets jumped by 2 Shaolin monks, and he easily handles them. Jack fights through a veritable army of stone guardians, and shows he is capable of slicing them apart as well as smashing them with his hands and feet. Jack pushes over an absolutely massive stone statue with the help of the 2 Shaolin monks. By comparing its height to that of the characters and assuming the statue is made of granite, I can estimate its weight, and even if I seriously lowball the weight of the statue and assume that Jack is only providing 1/3 of the force needed to move it, he would still have to be exerting about 2,340 tons of force. That is disgusting. That is equal to 468 school buses, or 34 tanks, or 10 blue whales, or 10 statues of liberty. Aku! Jack does not appear in this episode. Aku! While Jack does not appear in this episode either, we do gain some new knowledge about his sword. It is revealed that it was crafted by Odin, the head god of the Norse pantheon, Ra, the head god of the Egyptian pantheon, and Vishnu, a major god in the Hindu pantheon who's in charge of maintaining the universe. These 3 deities made Jack's sword not only by combining their own powers, but also by utilizing the righteousness within Jack's father. They crafted this sword with the intent of it being an ultimate weapon against evil, particularly Aku, but the sword has also demonstrated that it can be used to slay any evil supernatural foe, such as spirits and demons. The now revealed divine nature of the sword explains why it is proven invulnerable to harm, and since it was crafted by 3 of the most powerful deities across all of mythology, it now makes sense that it can destroy other godly power cosmic artifacts, such as the Kronos armor. Aku! Jack sneaks into a highly advanced fortress in order to steal a magical diamond. This shows once more that his stealth skills are quite advanced, as he makes his way past a large variety of advanced defenses and security systems. To make it clear just how impressive this is, Jack is a samurai from feudal Japan, and despite this, his stealth skills are on a level that he can bypass futuristic security systems from hundreds if not thousands of years in the future. On top of that, this is a secret high security facility belonging to the tyrannical world government, so this is likely one of the most secure facilities on the planet. Jack managing to sneak into this is beyond impressive. Jack cuts his way through a bunch of robots and blocks machine gun fire. This is nothing new, but it's still impressive. Aku! Jack slices his way through a respectably large number of these giant lobster robots, including a fairly titanic one at the end. Jack goes up against a super robot ninja specially trained by Aku with the sole purpose of killing Jack. In this fight, Jack performs several impressive feats. First, at the start of the fight, Jack is in the middle of saving a boy the ninja took hostage when said ninja tries to make a sneak attack on Jack. Jack manages to see this coming by, I kid you not, seeing the reflection of the ninja in the boy's eyes. A testament to Jack's observation skills, to be sure. And then, all before the ninja's attack can land, the one that Jack saw in the boy's eyes, Jack manages to cut down the boy and push both himself and the boy in different directions out of the way of the attack. This demonstrates that Jack can both react fast and move fast when he needs to. Then, in a somewhat confusing feat, Jack cuts the boy free of the ropes binding him in what appears to be a single sword slash. But, and this is the confusing part, the ropes, rather than falling to the ground cut in half like you'd think they would, instead fall apart into tatters, or maybe powder? There are two ways to interpret this. Either A, these are the weirdest / weakest ropes in the world and they just completely disintegrate upon being cut, or B, Jack cut the ropes to smithereens, he just did it so quickly that it appeared to be a single strike. I'm gonna go ahead and say it was the second option, as there's plenty of reason to think that Jack is super fast and no reason to think that these are special ropes. So yeah. An impressive display of precision and speed. Jack survives direct physical attacks from the ninja, who demonstrates that it is strong enough to punch through wooden support beams about 4 feet thick, which is no small feat. Jack survives having one of said wooden support beams fall directly on his head. He takes no apparent damage. Jack also survives attacks that punch him through wooden support beams that are behind him, which is also impressive. Jack then states that he recognizes the stealth techniques that the ninja had been using, and that Jack himself had also been trained in the ninja art of stealth. But then Jack goes on to say that he had also been trained to use the light, and what follows is perhaps the most absurd feat Jack has ever performed. Jack, with some slight alterations to his robes, manages to blend in with the light the same way that the ninja blends in with the darkness. And he does this so well that the robot ninja is incapable of seeing him. Allow me to repeat that. Jack, standing in direct sunlight, is impossible to see for the robot ninja. Remember when Snake hid from the Geckobots with his high-tech outfit? Yeah, Jack just did that with his normal robes. Impressive. Absolutely and totally absurd, but impressive. Jack finishes off the ninja by throwing his sword and skewering the ninja through one of the wooden pillars. What is perhaps more impressive is that the ninja is then cut in half by sliding down the blade. This demonstrates that the force of gravity is enough by itself for his sword to cut through things like steel, which is actually insane. It takes thousands of pounds of pressure to cut through paper-thin amounts of steel. So for this robot to be cut in half like this with nothing but gravity is absolutely insane. I suppose that if it can cut through godly super artifacts like nothing, then cutting through something as mundane as steel with only gravity isn't too unprecedented, but it's still crazy to actually see it. And that'll do it for this episode of Finding Feats. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know what you guys thought of my first video using a microphone. I had a lot of fun, actually, recording for the first time, now that I've actually gotten around to doing it. I procrastinated for a while, but in the end, I actually had a good time. I think that recording will be good in the long run for my channel, but I still want to hear what you guys have to say about it. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and have a fantastic day.